What's going on, guys? It's Justin here with Summit Racing, and we're down at Mid-Ohio with Pat and Frankie from Engine Power and their sweet new Mustang build. So thanks for joining us today, guys. This thing is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This was a lot of fun to build, and honestly, we're pretty excited to be here and rip it around the track. We haven't got out yet, but we're gonna see what this thing can do.
Yes, I'm very excited. So this thing is for the brand new Spec Mustang class. So for you guys that don't know much about spec racing, there's a couple different spec classes like Spec Mustang and Spec Miata, where you build a car to a certain set of rules. So kind of everybody has the same weapon on the track and it's all about driving. So tell us about some of the stuff you guys did to this.
So obviously, like you said, it's pretty manageable what you can do in the rules. So this is all stuff you could do in a weekend. You know, you can get the parts, get the car, and put it all in a weekend and go racing. So we basically started out with safety in mind because that is, you know, extremely important. So we did a bolt-in roll bar from Maximum Motorsports, some Summit Racing fixed back seats. We also changed out the steering wheel so we don't have an airbag, so we have a Sparco steering wheel in there now. And then we moved on to the performance upgrades with the engine. So we did a cold air intake. We did do a short throw shifter just to give it that nice feel of banging gears, a full Summit Racing exhaust with mufflers, and then we ended up chassis dynoing it to see what we got at the wheel after. This thing makes 290 horsepower at the wheel and like 306 pound-feet, so a little bit better than stock, but still manageable for that entry-level driver.
Yeah, and that's the really cool part about this class. Like you had said, Frankie, you can do this in a weekend in your driveway with some hand tools.
Yeah, and we also did a bunch of suspension stuff, right?
Yeah, no, this is what you could do like literally with a set of jack stands and easy bolt-on parts. Even someone like me could do it. I'm old and I have trouble getting under cars, but yeah, suspension wise, there's the spec shock. We go by the SCCA Spec Mustang class rulebook, right? And there's a sealed shock absorber on both ends that you have to run. There's some springs and there's some optional things like the anti-roll bar and things like that, where whatever is legal for the class. The car's idea is you can drive it to the track, you can run it, and then drive it home still. So it's a very user-friendly class. We have a spec tire on it. That's the one that's for the class. That's going to be, everyone has to have that size tire. Everyone has to have that size rim. So everyone has, you said it best, it has the same weapon on the track.
Yeah, and with like the shocks, the spec shocks, they are single adjustable, so you could set the car up and drive it to the track one way and get to the track, you know, change your setup a little bit, maybe tune in the shocks, use the caster camber plates to tune in the alignment a little bit, and then change it into track form, go racing, and then set it back for your street drive home. You know, that's the great part. Like he was saying, you can drive to the track. We've already driven this thing on the street a bunch, just, you know, kind of shaking it down and stuff. It drives totally different now. The suspension is way stiffer, the car's way lower, so you can really feel that when you're driving it. But you could set it up, drive it there, and then drive it home.
Yeah, that is cool. So you kind of get that driver experience all the time. Even like you said, if you have one as a daily driver or if you're looking to pick up a project car, this is a great option.
Oh, for sure. Like we found this one local to us, and you know, it's got 34,000 miles. It's got some scratches, dings, and dents and stuff, which is perfect for a weekend racer because you don't have to worry about, you know, destroying the car or anything like that. But it's in great shape. The engine is in great shape. You know, the car's not rusted out or anything like that. So we were pretty lucky to find this one, but they're all over the place. The S197 chassis, you know, this class is from 2005 to 2009, and there are, you know, hundreds of thousands of them out there.
The tough part is finding one that hasn't been modded. You know, half of these cars have blowers on them. You know, they'll have something that's been done to them. So this one was pretty much untouched, and it didn't have some sort of wacky aftermarket exhaust system with no muffler, so we put the Summit Racing full exhaust on, so the car is class legal. This car would be legal to race at any regional or national SCCA event. So
yeah, you guys absolutely killed it, and like I said, I'm excited to see what it does.
God.
So thoughts, opinions, how'd you like it? How's it drive?
Honestly, it kind of surpassed my expectations because it's, you know, it's a mildly modified stock car. Like we did all the suspension work, but it's struts, springs, you know, anti-roll bars, but the car is super tight. It drives really, really nice actually. Like it's way stiffer. I think it handles way better in the turns.
Well, it's very much more predictable, right? And if you're given a stock Mustang, it's not that they're bad, it's just kind of soft, right? Getting out here, you just don't know what to expect, and I tell you, laying into it pretty hard, and that car doesn't have enough power per se to like really like blow the back end out during a turn or like that. So the balance of the car feels way better. It was just all in all, for bolt-on parts, it was spectacular.
You could drive like really high horsepower stuff, and they got stiff clutches and no power steering. We can put 87 octane in it. It's got a really nice, easy to drive clutch. It's got a pretty comfortable seat, like those Summit seats, honestly. Actually pretty comfortable with the foam in them and everything. So you can just go out, kind of enjoy it. You can lean into the car really hard. Like, we got the tires squealing, you know, and trying to see what the car could do. And honestly, it has that nice padding of predictability where you can throw the car into a corner and know it's going to stick. You're not going to just like drive off the edge, you know?
Anybody going into this class is going to be really impressed and really have a lot of fun with something that's, you know, a budget friendly, if you might, for this type of racing. And you can get in, you can have a ton of fun and not break the bank.
I'm excited to do some fun stuff with it. It's gonna be fun.
Well, we want to see it. Make sure it's well documented because we want to see it.
Yep. Yeah. If anybody wants to watch the build, they can find it on Engine Power. We cover the whole thing, everything we did to the car, and then you guys are gonna road trip it right and be vlogging it up. So that'll be fun to see too.
Yeah, so make sure to follow along with the build when you see these guys' episode, and then follow along with me as we do epic things in this thing. I just want to thank you guys again. You know, it was awesome to hang out today, see what this thing does, and like I said, you guys killed it. This is a walk in the park build.
Well, thank you, man. We appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy it.
So we're heading back to home base with this Spec Mustang. Thanks again to Pat and Frankie for handing off the keys so we can go have some fun with this thing. So we made the hour and 20-minute trek back from Mid-Ohio to Talmadge, and this thing drives super well on the road. It's really well mannered, and you can really road trip this thing, and we're gonna find that out firsthand when we take it on Autocross Week. But first, let's get it inside and throw it on the lift to take a look at some of the upgrades that Frankie and Pat talked about at the track. So jumping right in, one of the first things we're gonna look at is this amazing stainless steel exhaust from Summit Racing. Now this kit fits well, looks great, and with a stainless exhaust, this thing's gonna last a long time. Not to mention, it sounds fantastic. Moving on from there, to keep our car really planted, we got some sweet sway bars from Eibach, and there's one of these front and back. We'll take a look at that front one here in a moment. But as for other kind of suspension components, we have this cool panhard bar from UMI Performance, and we also have a strut bar from them up top. Now, to keep this car nice and stocked when we're going around the track, it's got a set of EBC rotors and blue brake pads. These things stop fantastic, work great, and you know, it's perfect for that track and road performance. So highlighting just a couple other parts of the suspension, you can see we have Eibach springs in the back as well, along with these Koni adjustable gas-filled shocks. Now for the spec class, these are sealed shocks and struts. So if you look up here, you can see our sealed sticker, and if that's gone, it's void, you can't run these. But everybody has the same suspension in the class, same valving, all that jazz, so it really kind of equals all out. So let's move forward and talk about some other things on this Spec Mustang build. So now that we're up front, it's got a very similar recipe that it has out back as well. So it has a Koni single adjustable strut in the front, and when we go up top, we'll show you guys where the adjustment is, accompanied by an Eibach sway bar, and this thing is massive and it really makes the car feel firm. Just like the back, a set of EBC solid rotors, accompanied by a set of blue stuff pads. They're kind of like a race compound pad. This thing stops so good when you mash the pedal. So continuing our tour of this car, now we're under the hood, and we want to highlight this sweet K&N intake that they installed over at Engine Power. This thing allows this motor to breathe a little bit better and really complements the exhaust. Under the hood also, this thing got a UMI strut bar to really stiffen this thing up and make it handle well. And one of the cool things about these Koni shocks is the adjustability. And with the cool little Koni tool here, you can adjust the shocks. It's super easy, and we're so glad that they put this in the box. This car is also equipped with a set of adjustable camber and caster plates to round out the suspension package. Our wheel and tire package for the Spec Mustang is an 18-inch set of Koenig wheels, which look absolutely amazing, wrapped in a set of Goodyear Eagle F1 Supercar 3s. Now these have a 220 tread wear rating, so they're going to be a great all-around performance tire. Not to mention they're a 275/40/18, so it's a really good size, and they're going to make this car drive really nice. So for the interior, this thing has a Sparco steering wheel, a Hirsch short throw shifter for nice positive shifts, and it looks cool, along with a set of Summit Racing seats, covers, and seat belts, along with a 4-point cage as well. This is a really easy build out, and as you can kind of see, this car is not crazy to put together, and you can totally do it in your driveway. We have a whole list of events planned for this thing, starting off with Summit Racing's Autocross Week. And we're going to be showing you everything that we packed, so stay tuned for that video. So until next time, I'm Justin with Summit Racing, and thanks for watching.